Ryan Reynolds just exposed the true face of Hollywood and the woke culture that's destroying the industry. The Deadpool star, known for his sharp wit and no-filter humor, might have just dropped one of his boldest statements yet. He's reportedly clashing with Disney's big boss, Bob Iger, over creative freedom. After Deadpool 3 and Wolverine crushed the box office with over $1.38 billion in earnings, you'd expect a victory dance. But instead, Ryan and his team are at odds with Disney over the future of the Deadpool franchise. Things have gotten so heated that Ryan is allegedly considering stepping away from Marvel altogether, a move that could leave fans heartbroken and the franchise's future uncertain. The issue? While Deadpool 3 proved audiences are hungry for edgier, R-rated superhero content, Disney seems hesitant to fully embrace this direction. Ryan, director Sean Levy, and the writing duo Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick saw this as a golden opportunity to expand the Deadpool universe, even pitching crossovers with other X-Men characters. But instead of plowing profits back into Deadpool's world, Disney reportedly funneled a massive chunk, about $600 million, into diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) initiatives. While Ryan and his team support DEI in principle, they're worried Disney's track record suggests this could water down Deadpool's bold, unique style. So, will Disney compromise to keep one of their biggest stars happy, or is Deadpool's exciting future about to hit a corporate wall? Let's dive into all the juicy details. The reason behind this concern lies in Disney's recent history, with films that emphasize diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI), but failed to connect with audiences. Examples like the live-action The Little Mermaid remake and Marvel's Eternals were heavily marketed for their inclusive themes, but ultimately underperformed at the box office. This track record has raised questions about whether Disney's approach is compromising the integrity of its stories. The clash between Deadpool's creative team and Disney executives epitomizes this tension. Known for his irreverence and boundary-pushing humor, Deadpool thrives on being unconventional. However, Disney's DEI team proposed significant changes to the film's script, pushing for a family-friendly story infused with social justice elements and more diverse supporting characters. These changes felt out of place for a character whose appeal lies in his edgy, fourth-wall-breaking humor. Ryan Reynolds and his team stood their ground, determined to preserve Deadpool's unique tone, which they felt was essential for the character's success. One suggestion from Disney was the inclusion of a younger, more diverse sidekick for Deadpool. The idea was aimed at appealing to Gen Z audiences, but the creative team rejected it, feeling it would be forced and inauthentic. Despite the pushback, Disney's DEI team continued advocating for changes, signaling a broader shift in the studio's priorities. The situation escalated when Disney CEO Bob Iger became involved. Initially, Iger had assured Reynolds and his team that Deadpool 3's success would lead to more ambitious Marvel projects, including an expanded Deadpool universe and darker, R-rated content under the Marvel brand. However, when it came to allocating resources, Iger reportedly redirected potential profits from Deadpool 3 toward other projects, such as live-action remakes, which left Reynolds and his team feeling betrayed. This financial redirection frustrated Reynolds, who did not hold back in expressing his dissatisfaction. Publicly, he criticized Disney for failing to follow through on its promises. This strained his relationship with Iger, who denied ever making explicit commitments to reinvest Deadpool 3's earnings into the character's universe. This denial only deepened the rift, as Reynolds and his team believed the film's success was being used to fund projects that alienated Deadpool's core audience. Adding to the frustration, Hugh Jackman, who reprised his iconic role as Wolverine in Deadpool 3, shared Reynolds' sentiments. Jackman had high hopes that his return would help set the tone for a grittier, more mature X-Men universe. Instead, he saw the profits from their hard work funneled into projects like the live-action Snow White remake, leaving him disillusioned with Disney's decisions. As tensions grew, Reynolds began hinting at his dissatisfaction more openly, even suggesting he might walk away from Marvel if the situation didn't improve. This threat carries significant weight, as Reynolds is not only a beloved actor, but also a creative force behind Deadpool's success. His departure would be a massive blow to Disney, especially with plans underway to reintroduce the X-Men into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Reynolds is currently attached to several Marvel projects, including a potential Deadpool versus Wolverine sequel, X-Men crossovers, and even Avengers-related appearances. However, his message to Disney is clear. If Marvel projects don't receive the focus and support they were promised, he's ready to move on. Examples like Strange World, the Willow TV series, and the Haunted Mansion reboot highlight this challenge. These projects, despite their inclusive themes, struggled at the box office and failed to resonate with audiences. Insiders at Disney have reportedly voiced concerns that the company may be overestimating the financial viability of DEI-focused films, especially as theatrical revenues decline despite increased investments in diversity initiatives. We know that Ryan Reynolds is no stranger to speaking his mind, especially when it comes to protecting the integrity of his projects. Known for supporting diverse and inclusive ventures in the past, Reynolds has made it clear that forcing diversity, equity, and inclusion elements into Deadpool would feel out of place. He argues that doing so could compromise what makes the character so beloved, his edgy humor and unapologetically satirical approach. The heart of Deadpool's success lies in its irreverence, and tampering with that formula risks undermining the very essence of the franchise. This tension recently came to light during the script revisions for Deadpool 3. Disney executives suggested introducing a new sidekick for Deadpool, a diverse character aimed at appealing to younger audiences. However, the creative team rejected the idea, feeling it was more of a corporate checkbox than a natural addition to the story. This decision sent a message that DEI priorities at Disney are beginning to influence creative choices, even when they clash with the franchise's established tone. These disagreements have already started to disrupt the production process, with delays in script approvals and last-minute rewrites, creating friction between Reynolds' team and the studio. For Reynolds, this isn't just about Deadpool, it's about safeguarding creative freedom at Marvel Studios. With the original Avengers stepping away and Marvel's Phase 4 films receiving mixed reviews, he sees Deadpool as a golden opportunity to inject fresh energy into the MCU. He envisions leveraging the franchise's popularity to reintroduce the X-Men and create a grittier, more mature corner of the Marvel Universe. This approach could coexist with Disney's family-friendly Marvel films, offering fans a broader spectrum of content. However, Disney's emphasis on weaving DEI themes into its storytelling has made this vision harder to achieve. The conflict has also extended beyond Deadpool. Reynolds and his team have pitched ideas for future projects, including Deadpool 4 and a Deadpool vs. Wolverine spin-off that would explore darker and more mature narratives. Unfortunately, Disney executives have countered these proposals with suggestions that prioritize social justice themes, ensemble casts focusing on diversity, and toning down Deadpool's edgier humor. For Reynolds, these compromises feel like a dilution of what makes Deadpool unique, and he's been vocal about the risks of losing the franchise's distinct identity. Reynolds isn't alone in this battle. He's been rallying support from other creatives within the Marvel ecosystem, such as those involved in the Blade reboot and the Daredevil, Born Again series, both of which have reportedly faced similar creative roadblocks. Together, they aim to convince Disney to carve out a separate space for mature Marvel content, free from the constraints of the DEI-driven narrative. However, Disney CEO Bob Iger has been hesitant to greenlight this idea, worried that it could create a fragmented identity for the Marvel brand. The stakes are high. Disney finds itself at a critical juncture where its commitment to DEI initiatives is clashing with the financial imperative to keep billion-dollar franchises like Deadpool and Wolverine successful. Under Iger's leadership, the studio is walking a fine line between adhering to modern cultural expectations and maintaining the core elements that made its franchises iconic. If Disney pushes too hard on the DEI front, it risks alienating the fan base that has been the backbone of Marvel's unparalleled success in pop culture. Reynolds has made his stance crystal clear. Deadpool must stay true to its roots, or he's ready to step away from the franchise. Hugh Jackman, who is set to reprise his role as Wolverine, has also hinted that he might not continue without Reynolds by his side. So, what do you think? Should Disney stick to its DEI-driven agenda, or should they let Deadpool stay true to its roots?